caliper, and this one is a Bendix ADB22X L version with for a tray, but it's just for an example. I didn't have a better picture to use. So let's talk about the common parts of pretty much any air disc brake system, and they are caliper. When I say caliper, I'm actually talking about both pieces. The top half is the caliper body. The bottom half is the carrier. The carrier does just that. It carries and suspends the brake pads up in the air by means of 4-letter L's, and it puts it at the right position next to the rotor. It also suspends the caliper body by means of 2 guide pins. If you've ever done brakes on your own personal vehicle, this is the exact same system, which is a floating caliper system, and it's exact same technology that you would have had on your personal vehicles. So it is from light duty, and the reason why is that it works. Brake pads, every single caliper has 2 brake pads in there, and on top of the brake pads are 2 tension springs. These tension springs do just that. They provide tension by means of the pad retaining bar. Okay, when you install them, there's going to be pressure going down. They put pressure on the brake pads so that as you're driving down your city streets or your highways, they don't sit there and clank and make noise hitting the caliper, the rotor, the whatever, and it keeps them in place. When you apply the brake, it keeps them kind of seated so that they don't go and try to go with the rotor and hit the carrier and sit there and vibrate. Vibration at that rate of speed, we would hear it as brake squeal. So it is important to have those on there, and every time you change brake pads, every single manufacturer says to replace those, and it's there for a reason. Each manufacturer has a different way that they attach the top bar. They look different and they attach different. In this instance, on the Norbremse / Bendix, it's a clevis pin with a washer and a cotter pin. On the Meritor, it's a regular bolt. It's a metric bolt, but it's just a bolt. And then Wabco and some of the other ones have regular bolts and other things. But this is just the common parts of a system. Rotor, everybody knows what it does. It's your interface, and it's also the surface where the brake pads ride next to. When you apply the brake, that's what it grabs. It grabs the rotor and stops the rotation of the axle, because what is attached to the axle is a hub, and the rotor is attached to the hub by one means or the other. It stops moving, which stops the hub, which has the wheel on it, and stops the rotation of that, stops the momentum of the vehicle. Brake chamber, we'll talk about that more here in depth, but they're bolted onto the very top of the brake chamber, the brake caliper. We'll talk about the different styles that are out there right now. Last but not least, tappets and boots.